If you're one of the few people left on the planet to have yet experienced the masterpiece that is The Queen's Gambit on Netflix, then what are you waiting for? The streaming miniseries is the perfect pandemic escape to ease your quarantined soul. You don't have to be a chess fan to enjoy this highly stylized period piece. Anya Taylor-Joy's mesmerizing portrayal of chess prodigy Beth Harmon is undeniably powerful and spellbinding, and she's not the only star to bring life to this astonishingly good drama series. Thomas Brodie Sangster as the arrogant and popular chess guru Benny Watts, and Harry Melling as the reticent chess traditionalist Harry Beltic both deliver equally impressive performances in this Emmy-worthy production. But chances are there are a few things about The Queen's Gambit that diehard fans and chess masters alike are probably unaware of. The late Heath Ledger considered adapting the novel into a film. Prior to the actor's untimely death in 2008, Heath Ledger had been actively working on adapting the Queen's Gambit novel into a feature-length film. He had planned on directing and co-starring in the film alongside Elliot Page, who would have played the lead role of Beth Harmon. Alan Sheock, aka Alan Scott, was working hand-in-hand with Ledger on the screenplay adaptation of the book. Ledger had a deep respect for Walter Tevis's 1983 novel and was actually an avid chess player. By some accounts, he was close to being a chess grandmaster himself. The Netflix miniseries holds true to its source material. Walter Tevis was born in San Francisco in 1928. By the time he wrote The Queen's Gambit in 1983, he was already getting up in years, and in some respects, Beth Harmon's story mirrored a lot of his own experiences. Tevis first learned to play chess when he was just 7 years old, but he was far from the prodigy that Beth was. He never competed in any tournaments, but he always had a deep admiration for those that could. He was infatuated by the intricacies of the game and saw it as a metaphor for many of life's struggles and battles. When Tevis was a child, he spent a great deal of time at an inpatient rehabilitation home, dealing with medical issues that he had since birth. During that time, his parents basically abandoned him. Staff at the facility would drug him with phenobarbital several times a day. Tevis later cited this experience as the catalyst for his alcoholism later on in life. This tragic theme has clear parallels in both the book and the adapted miniseries. The series creators consulted actual chess experts. There is so much authentic detail crammed into The Queen's Gambit that it's not surprising to learn that the producers of the miniseries consulted actual grandmasters and chess experts before penning the script. When Tevis was writing his novel, he relied heavily upon the guidance of chess instructor Bruce Pedolfini. When Frank Scott was working with Alan Scott on the screenplay for the miniseries, he brought in both Pedolfini and Grandmaster Garry Kasparov for consultation. In fact, Kasparov was even offered the part of Soviet Grandmaster Vasily Borgov, but he declined. Kasparov gave an interview with Slate magazine back in November, where he described several of Tevis's game descriptions in his book as being somewhat amateurish. So he did his best to make sure that the gameplay shown in the series was as authentic as possible. In addition to providing an insider's perspective on the game itself, Kasparov also gave priceless insights into what the world of Soviet chess culture looked like during the series' established timeline, which boosted the realism of the series immensely. Beth's tale is similar to an actual American grandmaster's. Kasparov pointed out in the same Slate interview that there were a number of parallels in Beth's story with the real-life account of Bobby Fischer's career. Fischer unfortunately died in 2008 at the age of 64, but his playing style was unmatched. His record was impeccable. In the 90 championship games that he played, he won a staggering 61 games, 26 ending in a draw, and he only lost a total of 3 times. The actors actually played the chess games in the series. Even though all of the games were curated by chess experts, the actors actually memorized and played every game, move by move, even for all of the speed chess rounds. It took a tremendous amount of time and careful attention to detail to ensure that every frame of the series portrayed an actual chess setup. There's even a whole scene where you don't see the board, but the actors are actually moving each piece exactly where they are supposed to go. Taylor-Joy was so stoked to play Beth that she literally ran to meet the creators to discuss getting the role. In an interview with NPR about the show, she admitted that she's never been much of a runner. But regardless of this fact, she took flight on foot to meet with Scott Frank after blitzing through the novel. She absolutely adored the story and knew that she was perfect for the protagonist's role. She told NPR that it was the only job that she ever physically ran to, but she couldn't help it. She was just so excited. Taylor-Joy has starred in several other iconic films and TV shows. Anya Taylor-Joy's big rise to fame moment was when she starred in the 2015 horror drama film, The Witch. The film received widespread critical acclaim and grossed $40 million against a meager $4 million budget. She also appeared in Split in 2016, Glass in 2019, and Emma in 2020. Additionally, she played Bree in Netflix's The Dark Crystal, Age of Resistance, and Gina Gray in the British period crime drama series Peaky Blinders. Her next film, Last Night in Soho, is currently in post-production and set for release in 2021. You probably recognize Harry Beltic from somewhere. Harry Melling played Dudley Dursley in the Harry Potter films. You might also recognize him from some of his more recent roles, such as in the BBC series His Dark Materials as Seiselman, or Merrick in the 2020 Netflix film The Old Guard. He's also had parts in the Coen brothers film The Ballad of Buster Scruggs and Antonio Campos' The Devil All the Time. Thomas Brody Sangster was in 2003's Love Actually. Long before he played whiz-kid Benny Watts in The Queen's Gambit, Thomas played Sam in the holiday classic romantic comedy Love Actually. He's actually had roles in Game of Thrones as Jojen Reed and The Maze Runner as Newt. And if you have a really keen eye, he had a brief cameo in Star Wars The Force Awakens as an officer of the First Order. Editor Michelle Tesoro did her best to ensure the chess games were interesting to everyone. Like we already mentioned, you don't have to be a chess fan to enjoy the Queen's Gambit. And that is largely because editor Michelle Tesoro did everything she could to make sure that the match scenes constantly advanced Beth's story arc. She would switch the camera's focus from the board to things like the ticking clocks or the telling motions of the player's hands to keep the suspense alive. When Beth is playing at the Paris tournament, very obviously hungover, the chess pieces wobble about the board in a manner that Tesoro described as being somewhat like a Gumby effect. As of December 2nd, 2020, The Queen's Gambit is Netflix's most viewed scripted limited series to date. Over 62 million viewers have watched the miniseries in its entirety. The series took the top position on Nielsen's U.S. streaming rankings for several weeks. It ranked in Netflix's top 10 list in over 93 countries and managed to reach number 1 in 63. The chess community has applauded the miniseries for its choreography, authenticity, and how it portrays the players. Public interest in chess has surged since the series was released. Sales for chess sets are reportedly up over 1,000%, and Chess.com reported that they saw several million new players since the series was released in October. One thing is certain after watching The Queen's Gambit. Anya Taylor-Joy's career is about to explode. While the series as a whole stands on its own as an incredible labor of love by everyone involved, Taylor-Joy's performance is one of the finest we've seen in quite some time. Did you have any interest in chess before seeing The Queen's Gambit? Or are you one of the thousands of people that ordered their first chess set on Cyber Monday? Drop us a line in the comments section below. And before you go, make sure you give us a like and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Tap the bell icon to turn on notifications so you can keep up with all of our latest videos.